Here we have a survey in which we have three groups of people, Americans, Brazilians and Chinese, talking about the sports that they play, and they talk about only two sports, hockey and football. And there are people who can play only hockey or only football, both hockey and football, or none. So only hockey, only football, both hockey and football, or none. And this is it's given that the total respondents in each group is unique. There is no common respondents amongst the groups, and the total respondents in each group is fixed at 120. And there is some additional information which is being given in your solutions. In the MCAT solution document, this question has been approached as a Venn diagram question. It can be done that way or also in a table form as is being done here. Eventually both of us will be doing the same thing when we come to the equations and calculating, but just to show you a different approach, we are looking at a tabular solution here. Now here we have the number of Brazilians who do not play either of the two sports. Number of Brazilians who do not play either of the two sports, because n is none, do not play either of the two sports, is the same as the number of Chinese who play both the sports. Number of Chinese who play both the sports. So both these values are equal. So let's assume that both these, let's represent them by A. Number of Brazilians who play who do not play either of the two sports, and the number of Chinese who play both the sports. That's the first statement. Second statement says that the number of Americans who play only football. Americans only football here is twice the number of Chinese who do not play either of the two sports. Twice the number of Chinese who do not play either of the two sports. Let's assume that this is B. So this only football will be twice the value. Statement 3 says that across the three groups, 40 people do not play either of the two sports. 40 people across the three groups do not play either of the two sports, so which means the sum here is 40. Similarly, 60 people play both the sports. 60 people play both the sports. So both the sports total will be 60, none total will be 40. 95 Chinese play exactly one sport. 95 Chinese play exactly one sport. So Chinese exactly one sport, these two values. So these two together will be 95. So we have used A and B in the table so far. So let's represent them by C and D. So it's given that C plus D is equal to 95. Then 70 Americans play exactly one sport. 70 Americans play exactly one sport. So the way 90 Chinese play two sports, C plus D, 95 Chinese play two sports, C and D. Similarly, we have these two together adding up to 70. So we have used till D here, so let's use a E here. So E plus 2B is equal to 70. It is 70 Americans. Then we have the fifth statement which says that the number of Americans who play hockey is 65. Number of Americans who play hockey. Now who are these people? There are these people who are playing only hockey, and there are these people who are playing both hockey and football, which means everybody here plays hockey and along with these people. So let's assume if this is F, we have used till E. So E plus F is equal to number of Americans who play hockey is 65. Similarly, number of Brazilians who play football is also 65. Brazilians who play football, only football guys, and people who play both football and hockey, both of them need to be counted. So we have used till F, so let's assume these F, G and H. So 65 is also equal to G and H. And that's the information that we have here, and we need to figure out what these values are so that we can get somewhere. Now how do we do that? To do that, let's first fill these blanks with also some variables. We have used variables till G, F, G. So let's put an H, F, G, G, H. So let's put an I here and a J. So if we have them there, we know C plus D is equal to 95. Now where is C plus D? C plus D is here. So C, D, A and B together add up to 120. So which means we can find out the value of A, B. Now how will finding the value of A, B help? We know that A, B and J is 40. So if we know the value of A, B, we can substitute it there and get the value of J. So let's do that. So because C, D, A, B is 120, so A plus B therefore will be 120 minus 95, which is 25. So if A plus B is 25, which is along with J adding up to 40, we know that J is equal to 15. If j is equal to 15, what information can we get from that? We know that e plus 2b is 70, or e plus f is equal to 65, and then we also know the value of j. So e plus 2b plus j plus f is 120. E plus 2b is 70. If you add j to that, it will be 85, and 85 plus f therefore is 120. So now we know the value of f, which is 35. Just to put it for you as a form of an equation, e plus 2b plus f plus j is equal to 120. We know e plus 2b is 70 and j is 15. So therefore we end up in being able to find the value of f. Now if we know the value of f is 35, so e plus f is 65. That tells us that e is equal to 30. Now if e is 30, we know e plus 2b is 70, which means 2b is 40, b is equal to 20. If b is 20, we know a plus b is 25, so a is equal to 5. So out of a, b, c, d, e, f, g, h, i, j, so far we have found out the value of a, b, e, f, j. A, b, e, f and j. So we need the value of, we may have to, based on again the questions, we need the value of c, d, g, h and I. So what can we find out about g, h and I? We know the value of a, we know the value of f, we know a, we know f, and we know a, h, f add up to 60. So we can find out the value of h. So a plus h plus f is equal to 60, and we know a is equal to 5 plus h plus f is 35 equal to 60. So value of h equal to 20. So we know the value of h also, and we know g plus h is equal to 65. So if h is 20, g is equal to 45. So we know the value of g, and we need to know, we know the value of c plus d is equal to 95. So we need to find out the value of, do we need to find out the value of c and d? Let's see, let's look at the question, because at the current scenario, any other relationship between c and d is not available. The only relationship between c and d is available, that is available is along with a and b. So let's hold on to that for now, because we don't know these numbers. The way we knew 60 and 40, these two numbers have not been given. So let's hold on to that and see if we can answer the questions with the given information. Question number, the first question, what is the number of Americans who do not play either of the two sports? Number of Americans who do not play either of the two sports will be j. So j we know is 15. So 15 will be the answer for this question. Next question, how many Brazilians play only hockey? Brazilians only hockey is I, and what do we know is the value of I. I think we have not found out the value of I yet, so let's try and do that. How do we do that? I, G, H and A. We know the value of A, we know the value of G, we know the value of H, and we know all of these guys add up to 120. So A, all we need to do is to add A, G and H and subtract them from 120. A is 5, G and H. So 50 plus 20 is 70, and if you subtract that from 120, we get a value of 50. So I's value is also found out. I is equal to 50. So we have found that, and we have been able to answer this question. The next question, the number of Brazilians who play both the sports. Number of Brazilians who play both the sports is H, which is 20. Now the question is, this is the same as, so what is the other 20 that we got? We know that the other 20 that we got is B. So then what is B? B is equal to the Chinese who play none of the games. So what do we have there? We have that right at the top as the first option, Chinese who do not play either of the two sports. The last question in this set, the maximum number of people in a single group who do not play either of the two sports. Who do not play either of the two sports, the maximum number. So we need to pick the maximum between J, A and B. We know J is 15, A is 5 and B is 20. So B at 20 will be the answer for this question. So the trick to solving this question is to not get overwhelmed by the amount of data that is given there. A proper representation of the data and a proper approach towards solving the equations will be able to help us through. And particularly those of you who have been counting the number of equations that are available. So for example, how many equations did we make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So we have 10 equations that we have made so far. This is a derived equation, so let's hold on to that. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4 equations given, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equations. So 9 equations, and how many unknowns do we have? We have 10 unknowns. We have it till j. So technically it is not possible to solve it uniquely, which is why we are stuck at C and D. We were not able to find out the unique value, the individual values of C and D. However, to be able to answer this set, we don't need to find out the individual values of all the variables, because the questions do not demand that.